A battle to fight. There's a photo on my wall of a little boy about 5 years old, with a crew cut, big cheeks, and an impish grin. It's an old photograph, and the color is fading, but the image is timeless. It's Christmas morning, 1964, and I've just opened what may have been the best present any boy received at any Christmas ever. A set of two pearl-handed six-shooters, complete with black leather holsters, a red cowboy shirt with two wild mustangs embroidered on either breast, shiny black boots, red bandana, and straw hat. I've donned the outfit and won't take it off for weeks because, you see, this is not a costume at all. It's an identity. Sure, one leg pant is tucked into my boot and the other is hanging out, but that only adds to my fresh-off-the-trail persona. My thumbs are tucked inside my gun belt and my chest is out because I am armed and dangerous. Bad guys beware. This town's not big enough for the both of us. Capes and swords, camouflage, bandanas, and six-shooters. These are the uniforms of boyhood. Little boys yearn to know they are powerful, they are dangerous, they are someone to be reckoned with. How many parents have tried in vain to prevent little Timmy from playing with guns? Give it up. If you do not want to supply a boy with weapons, he will make them from whatever materials are at hand. My boys chew their graham crackers into the shape of handguns at the breakfast table. Every stick or fallen branch is a spear, or better, a bazooka. Despite what many modern educators would say, this is not a psychological disturbance brought on by violent television or chemical imbalance. Aggression is part of the masculine design. We are hardwired for it. If we believe that man is made in the image of God, then we would do well to remember that the Lord is a warrior. The Lord is his name. Exodus 15:3. Little girls, do not invent games where large numbers of people die, where bloodshed is a prerequisite for having fun. Hockey, for example, was not a feminine creation, nor was boxing. A boy wants to attack something, and so does a man, even if it's only a little white ball in a tee. He wants to whack it into kingdom come. On the other hand, my boys do not sit down to tea parties. They do not call their friends on the phone to talk about relationships. They grow bored of games that have no element of danger or competition or bloodshed. Cooperative games based on relational interdependence are complete nonsense. No one is killed? They ask. Incredulous. No one wins? What's the point? The universal nature of this ought to have convinced us by now. The boy is a warrior. The boy is his name. And those are not boyish antics he is doing. When boys play at war, they are rehearsing their part in a much bigger drama. One day, you just might need that boy to defend you. Those Union soldiers who charged the stone walls at Bloody Angle, the Allied troops that hit the beaches at Normandy, or the sands of Iwo Jima, what would they have done without this deep part of their heart? Life needs a man to be fierce and fiercely devoted. The wounds he will take throughout his life will cause him to lose heart if all he has been trained to be is soft. This is especially true in the murky waters of relationships, where a man feels least prepared to advance. As Bly says, in every relationship something fierce is needed once in a while. Now, this longing may have submerged from years of neglect, and a man may not feel that he is up to the battles that he knows await him. Or it may have taken a very dark turn, as it has with inner-city gangs. But the desire is there. Every man wants to play the hero. Every man needs to know that he is powerful. Women didn't make Braveheart one of the best-selling films of the decade. Flying Tigers, The Bridge on the River Kauai, The Magnificent Seven, Shane, High Noon, Saving Private Ryan, Top Gun, the Die Hard films, Gladiator. The movies a man loves reveal what his heart longs for, what is set inside him from the day of his birth. Like it or not, there is something fierce in the heart of every man. An adventure to live. My mother loves to go to Europe on her vacations. We were talking about our love of the West, a friend and I, and why he moved out here from the East Coast. And that's okay for her, I guess. There's a lot of culture there. But I need wildness. Our conversation was stirred by the film Legends of the Fall, the story of three young men coming of age in the early 1900s on their father's ranch in Montana. Alfred, the eldest, is practical, pragmatic, cautious. He heads off to the big city to become a businessman and eventually a politician. Yet something inside him dies. He becomes a hollow man. Samuel, the youngest, is still a boy in many ways, a tender child, literate, sensitive, timid. He's killed early in the film, and we know he was not ready for battle. Then there is Tristan, the middle son. He is wild at heart. It is Tristan who embodies the West. He catches and breaks the wild stallion, fights the grizzly with a knife, and wins the beautiful woman. I have yet to meet a man who wants to be Alfred or Samuel. I have yet to meet a woman who wants to marry one. There's a reason the American cowboy has taken on mythical proportions. He embodies a yearning every man knows from they are young, to go west, to find a place where he can be all he knows he was meant to be. To borrow Walter Brueggemann's description of God, wild, dangerous, unfettered, and free. Now, let me stop for a moment and make something clear. I am no great white hunter. I have no dead animals adorning the walls of my house. I didn't play college football. In fact, in college I weighed 135 pounds and wasn't much of an athlete. Despite my childhood dreams, I have never been a race car driver or a fighter pilot. I have no interest in televised sports. I don't like cheap beer, and though I do drive an old Jeep, its tires are not ridiculously large. I say this because I anticipate that many readers, good men and women, will be tempted to dismiss this as some sort of macho man pep rally. Not at all. I am simply searching, as many men, and hopefully women, are, for an authentic masculinity. When winter fails to provide an adequate snow base, my boys bring their sleds in the house and ride them down the stairs. Just the other day, my wife found them with a rope out their second-story bedroom window, preparing to rappel down the side of the house. The recipe for fun is pretty simple raising boys. Add to any activity an element of danger, stir in a little exploration. Add a dash of destruction, and you've got yourself a winner. The way they ski is a perfect example. Get to the top of the highest run, point your skis straight downhill and go. The faster the better. And this doesn't end with age. The stakes simply get higher.